Sunday, the 12th, and I didn't even know until I woke up that it was daylight savings time is off, so I'm up an hour later. We'll see how this affects my day. The switch messes with a lot of us, so we'll see. I was just playing Tyndall, Reflexionen, some lovely and light electronic music out of Germany, I believe. Yep, that's where the label is, in Hamburg. I liked Hamburg when I was there. Visited that city twice when I toured Europe. Hey folks, how y'all doing? I really enjoy the little bit of feedback I get from you folks when I play this music that I'm working on. Yes, it's going to be a physical release. Going to do it myself. It's a self-release with the other guys. They're going to go in on it with me. It's a three-way. It's not a solo album. It's me, Blake, and Cubby. Three-way. And we're just about done. Just about done. Hope to have it out by May at the latest. Maybe we could get the CD, if things go well this week, regarding the recording is going well. So there's a couple things to do, but wrapping up the graphics and stuff and getting that done, maybe we could have it back by late April. Very really into what we're doing. I still have that whole other solo album that is pretty much complete, that includes a track from Dave Newhouse that is not going up on the shelf. That's still planned for release this year. So my plan is to do a CD release of this music with Cubby and Blake. See if anyone would be interested in doing a vinyl edition of it. Submitting my next solo album for FPE in a little bit. It's pretty much done. To see if we can get that out. They had approached me about putting out another vinyl album this year, so I'd like to follow up with that. I have the duet sound excursion that I did with Brian Day that he is now putting together out in San Francisco for release on CD. Plus the David Nance band, Mode Sound. That's coming out in July. He's not talking about it, so I still need to just let him announce his news. I think it's going to be kind of a cool deal for him when he goes public with his next record. That, and James Kotilainen, who is the musician that I've been working with for years in several different bands. He's the one that I met Blake and Cubby through. Well, supposedly, if James isn't too scattered today, and I will say it like that because James is one of those kind of people who is high-strung and puts his irons in too many fires. He'll say it, but he still does it. But anyway, he plays with Cubby and Blake in a couple different configurations. And as I said before, in the past, you folks that follow me, I was trying to get my solo album, some tracks wrapped up at James's studio, and just couldn't coordinate things until finally things started to happen here. And now James is jealous. And yes, I say it publicly because he said it. Hey, what are you guys doing? So I have a whole set of music to work on with him. He said he was coming over today, but we'll see if he can, because of his schedule. Anyway, that's the latest. I did not go to the record stores this weekend, and it's a good thing. I did play some records, and I received a record this weekend. It's a bit of a mess up, Arthur. I think you got ahead of yourself here. In the note, excuse me, y'all. In the note, you talk about sending me the Keith and Julie Tippett Sound on Stone. I guess it's on vinyl. No, it's not on vinyl. But I got it from Discus sent it to me. But you sent this to me, this vinyl. And I know it's a mess up because this is folk. The Magpie Arc. I'll tell you, it's great that I got a chance to play this. I'm always sampling music online, but I love dropping the needle, and that's real fun. And I pay more attention the first time around. So it was cool that this was a mistake. A mistake, it seems, that you sent it to me, so I get to hear it. This is good. It's not what I go for when it comes to folk, but it's interesting. And these are the real deal. Nancy Kerr, I'd heard of her. Martin Simpson. It's good. It's good. The Magpie Arc. Glamour in the Gray. So that was a nice surprise to get to hear that. I was in the records doing something and came across a record I didn't realize I had. Chris Hines plays Burt Bacharach. As you know, we just lost Burt Bacharach. Rest in peace. I didn't even realize I had this album. Several years ago, at a record store out in Bellevue, where they get a lot of records from military on the military base, someone had dropped several Hines albums, and so I just bought them all. And this was one of them. And this is gorgeous. I say, wow. These are gorgeous arrangements. Hines is quite the player. It's a Netherlands release, and it's like I always wonder about the different colors in the different countries and why that is. So here's a green CBS. When they were making them at this time, it was orange. But I've seen blue. I think I've seen another color. The colors are, I believe, associated with the different genres, classical, etc. But pretty cool. This is beautiful. And he's a great player. He's a wonderful musician. So I enjoyed that and listened to the whole thing. Another thing I played as I was pulling away from editing and mixing, because I do get a little obsessed. I played this. It's a reissue. It was originally out on the Love Records label out in Finland. Esa Kotilainen, Ajatuslapsi. Love this cover. And this is one of those keyboard-driven works. Some could say it's in the Klaus Schultz Tangerine Dream. Not quite. This is not sounding like them at all. But it's very electronic and inner space. This is inner space music. And I love that cover. And it's a good album. I like this. Yeah. But then, shortly after that, I got right back to work. And so yeah. So I made up these mock-ups. I make mock-ups. I make little CDs of, covers for my archives. So you can't quite see this, but it's two photos superimposed of a temple and clouds. And I'm leaning towards using that. You can't really see it too well like this. Another idea I have is, I'm not going to use this particular image, but the idea of moving scenery, moving greenery. It's another idea I have for the cover. Going to try to get that taken care of this week. I think I'm going to go ahead and do the cover for this one myself. Like I said, I'm in contact with a few different people about using their artwork. Most likely, those contacts will go towards my vinyl release. We'll see. I think I'm going to do this for that. Another record I played, just started my day yesterday with this, Slowdive, Just for a Day. This never sounded better. Yesterday was the best this album's ever sounded to me. I always was comparing it to Pygmalion. No, this is lovely. It's Just for a Day. I love that cover and those colors. Just perfect. Yes, I'm so happy to say that back in the 90s, when Slowdive was just getting going, they came on tour in America, played in Omaha with Ride. Great show. And I got to party with the band after both bands afterwards. They were so nice, young and nice. Neil and Rachel were very, very fun to hang out with. And Mark Gardner of Ride was a sweet guy. I appreciated this. He didn't go out of his way, but he made it clear that he wanted me to feel comfortable and welcome at the party. Because I was the only person of color there, as often is the case, especially here in Nebraska. So that's a good memory. I like both of those bands. Here's something that was sent to me for review, and I kept it. Victor Timofeev, Palace of Peace and Reconciliation. This is one of those records where it's got a lot of darkness in it. And whatever reason it is, I don't know. When the industrial dark thing was first happening, I was all over it and really trying to understand it, and think I do. So this has a place in my history, but when it gets to the parts here like on this one, it starts off really interesting sonically. Then the darkness comes in and you get to a point where someone is like screaming through a distortion box, very anguished. It's very powerful and effective, but as far as being a place where I want to spend time in my head listening, no. It's a keeper. This type of stuff is thought-provoking, but I'm not the kind of person who likes to dwell in that space. Some people like that industrial sound and that space and that darkness. It's where they dwell. Not myself. Last thing I can show that's out from being played. Only got through a little bit of this and then I went back to work. Poems of the Five Mountains by Timmermans and Skipper Wise. Another one on the Klaus Schultz label. When I first was flipping through and looking to play something, I almost went past it because the cover image fools me. It makes me think, oh, it's another one of my New Age records. No, it's an IC label, and it's not New Age. It's electronic. It's nice. It's nice. It's very, very nice. Oh, okay, folks. That's where it's at today. I'm going to get back to work.